Okay, so yesterday we talked about geometric sequences, and these are geometric sequences. A geometric sequence has a common ratio. It's what is being multiplied by from one term to get to the next. We talked about terms. We talked about a lot of things, a lot of information. So make sure you go back and watch it if you haven't. So like the 4 here is the first term because it's the first number in the pattern, and it keeps doing that. Stop it. The 9 is the third term. Okay. Now remember back when we did slope, we use x1 and x2 and stuff like that. We use little subscripts to help us know whether it was the first one or the second one. We're going to use those subscripts again, but we use them with an A. So A sub 1 means it's the first term or first number in our pattern. In that case, it's 4. Okay, does everybody follow? So to find the ratio is what you're multiplying by. What am I taking times 4 to get 6? And the way we find that number is we do the opposite. The opposite of multiply is divide. So take any 2 terms that are side by side, and you take the one that's on the right divided by the one on the left. So I can do, so if I use 1, 2, 3, I can use a sub 3 divided by a sub 2, and that would be 9 divided by 6, and that gives me 1.5. Okay, I'm going to take one of these off my ears because it sounds really like I'm in a tunnel. So the common ratio is any number in the term, any term over the one in front of it, n minus 1. And we talked about this. All right. So you definitely want to go back. This is your essential. Your essential is being able to write sequences. Now part 1 is this. This is part 1. Part 2 is write the explicit formula. The formula for a sequence is a sub n equals a sub 1 r to the n minus 1. Okay. A sub 1 is 4. R is 1.5 to the n minus 1. Okay. Now to find the 12th term, that means n is 12. So I want a sub 12. That means I'm going to use 4 times 1.5 to the 12 minus 1. And we talked about you're going to need a calculator. All right, so if you're using your phone as a calculator, here's how you use your phone. Okay, 1, you need to turn it to the side. Okay. Then you're going to go 4 times 1.5 . And 12 minus 1 is what? 11. This button right here, where it has an X and a Y, is the one you need. You're going to press that button. 11 equals. And you just go out a couple decimals, it's fine. You're not going to go all the way. All right, questions? Now let's do the same thing for the other one. But we'll be able to go a little faster because now we've covered it. All right, so for part one, I want the ratio, the common ratio. Ratio, by the way, means fraction. Fraction means divide. So which two do you want to use? Santos? Which two terms do you want to use to find the ratio?
24 and 72.
Okay, so the 72 is after that, so that one goes on top over negative 24. 72 negative divided by 24 negative gives me 3. Now, write our equation. A sub n equals a sub 1 times r to the n minus 1. A sub 1 is negative 8 times 3 to the n minus 1. Now do the last part. I want a sub 12. I'm going to warn you, it's a huge number. Put in the negative 8, parenthesis 3, 12 minus 1. So I want negative 8 to the 3rd to the 11th power. Okay, put that in your calculator. Okay, Hayden, did you watch the? Okay, is this okay so far? Okay. It's going to give you a huge number. You should get negative 1,417,176. Okay, questions? Questions on the assignment from yesterday? So this is what you had to do on your assignment. The first two problems wanted the common ratio, I believe. And the next three and three more? No. Common ratio in the equation. The next two problems wanted the equation, and then you had to include 3 more terms, 3 more values in your sequence. And then the last 4 was to write the equation. So it's everything that we just did in this warm-up. Okay? Questions? Okay, so and what we're doing today is we're going to learn about the other type of sequence. These two sequences are going to make up almost the whole entire ESA for this. Okay. Now, one thing. So some of you need to clear, and I got an itch on my nose again. I got another itch. Some of you need to clear essentials. No, I'm yawning. Okay. I'm going to give you a chance tomorrow. However, you guys aren't going to be here in class, right? If you need to clear an essential, you need to zoom in. Okay? Do you know, everyone know whether they need to clear an essential or not? You should have got an email from me last week at the beginning of this week. If you passed all 3 essentials, I'm not talking about your overall grade. I'm talking about the 3 essentials. Functions, linear functions, systems, you scored a 70 or higher on all 3 of those, and you have above a 70%, you're going to pass. If you have one of these missing, you need to make it up. Okay? You're going to get the chance, a one shot tomorrow to do it without having to do all the makeup work. So if you need to do it, you better log in at class time, okay? Because it will be during class. Any questions? There's not many of you that need to do it. Okay, there's not many of you. The rest, everyone else, tomorrow is just going to be there's not a new lesson tomorrow. Okay, so those of you who have everything cleared, all you're going to have is a worksheet reviewing what we did yesterday and what we're doing today. Okay, so we're going to learn about the other type of sequence today, and you're going to be able to just practice both of those tomorrow as your assignment. Does that make sense? So it won't take you long to give those students who need to clear an essential an extra chance. Questions? All right, so let's talk about our other type of sequence. So geometric is multiplying. Arithmetic is adding. Okay, it's still a sequence, but this time instead of multiplying by the same number, we're going to add the same number. Let's see if I... All right. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of different arithmetic sequences. Okay. These are both arithmetic sequences. What's being added this time? Here. What number's being added? 2, right? What number's being added here? -2. So it's still addition, it's just a negative this time. Okay. The value that's being added each time is called the common difference. Where it was a ratio for geometric, it's a common difference. All right, so I'm going to start filling in some information. So the common difference, or D, so common ratio, we used R, common difference, we used D. And this is the amount being added. And I'm just going to give you the formula today because I think you'll understand it based upon how you did with the geometric. The formula for this one is A sub n equals A sub 1 plus D times n minus 1. Okay, we had an n minus 1 with our ratio, right? Our geometric. So we have an n minus 1 with this one. D is the amount that's being added or subtracted each time. If it's subtracted, it's a negative. A sub 1 is our original. Okay. Questions? Now, are some of you wondering, do I need to simplify this? No. You can leave it right there. And when I mean simplify, you're probably thinking, should I distribute and combine like terms? You don't have to. You don't have to. You can leave it right there. Okay, so I'm going to give you an arithmetic sequence. Let's find the common difference. Let's write the equation. Okay. Okay, so the first thing is I want to find the common difference. All right. So how would we figure out if we couldn't figure what if it was adding by a decimal every time? Because it could add by a decimal. How could I figure out what's being added each time? Think about how you find the common ratio if you're not sure right off the bat. Nikki?
You would just take the term, like you would take a term and subtract it by the term in front of it.
Perfect, yeah. So just, you know how for finding the ratio, like we did on the warm-up, we took a term and then we divided it by the one in front of it to get what it was being multiplied by? For this one, we're going to take the term and subtract the one in front of it. So you pick a term minus the one in front of it. So if you want, so pick any two terms. Parker, give me one of the numbers up there. 5 what?
5 minus 9.
Did you say 3?
9.
Okay, so 5 and 9. So the 9's in front, so you can take 9 first, minus 5 gives me what? 9 minus 5? 4. Okay, so there's my D. So D is equal to 4. I'm going to just make this a little smaller here. Too much talking. And so now let's write our equation. A sub n equals, what's A sub 1? What's the first number in our sequence? 1 plus our common difference of 4 times n minus 1. Hayden, are you having trouble seeing it? You can see it? Okay. Okay. Questions? Now, I want you to find the 51st term. How am I going to find the 51st term? Well, this is n, right? 51st term is n, so n is equal to, that's it. Plug 51 into it. So now I'm going to take my formula. So A sub 51 equals 1 plus 4 times 51 minus 1. Now we follow order of operations. What do we do first? 51 minus 1? It's 50. Can I still pull out my calculator now? Pull out a calculator, guys. 1 plus 4 times 50. Hold on one second. All right. So 4 times 50 is 200, plus 1 is 201. So the 51st term is 201. Questions? Ready for another one? Okay. That was from stats this morning. Can I have you look at this and see? I'm not sure what he's talking about. I'm not sure which one he's talking about.
That's systems.
I know. I understand that, but this,
Is there anything more time to what?
yeah, that's the thing.
I just respond to say
More.
more time for what?
Do you want to go on and
Yeah,
reset those? It was word problems, elimination, and graphing. Okay, ready? I'm going to walk around and look at it. Elijah? But write the equation. So give me, do A, B, and 1, 2, and 3. Give me the difference, give me the equation, give me the 51st term. Elizabeth? I'm just looking. Are you lost? Yep. Okay. Okay, so if it's going to be minus, so it's, if you're, are you finding, oh, is that, okay, that's your common difference, right? And then you put n minus 1, parenthesis, n minus 1. There you go. Okay. AJ, can I see it? Okay, hold on. So what's your common difference? Okay, so you're going to go the first one. I got your negative 4. Oh, you haven't. Okay, now write your equation. So it's the first one plus your negative 4, parenthesis, n minus 1. Okay. Parker, you need some help? Okay. And your equation looks, oh,
It's a minus.
but what's your first term?
Oh,
Oh. You got it? Okay. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is find the common difference. So D is gonna be subtracting two of these. So if I take -9 minus the one in front of it, which is -5, I'm gonna end up with, these are gonna change to a positive, because two negatives change to a positive. That's gonna change to negative, that's gonna be a -4. So my common difference is -4. Write my equation. A sub n equals the first term, which is 3, plus -4 parenthesis n minus 1. And now for the 51st term, I want a sub 51. So that's going to be 3 plus -4 times 51 minus 1. So that's going to be 3 plus -4 times 50. And I'm just going to use my calculator. 3 plus -4 times 50. -197. Questions on this? Do you want to do one more? Yeah? Okay. I'm thinking. Okay. So I want D. I want A sub n. And I want A sub 51. So make your note card and have all that ready. That's right. Pretty easy. What's your D? Okay, write the equation. Make sure you put the A sub n. Okay, how are you getting the 5? Oh, you're doing the subtracting. Okay, I'll come back to you. AJ, can I see how you're doing? Okay, so why is that a negative there? Remember, it's the one in front minus the one behind it, so you have these flip-flopped. Because this tells me the number's going down, but they're not, they're going up. Okay? Good. Hmm? It's A sub 1. Yeah. Plus D times n minus 1.
Plus D. This is
Right.
D. Okay.
You should still, D was in the other one too.
Yeah.
Double check, Evelyn. Okay. It should come out with a decimal. No, actually, hold on. Yeah, double check. What'd you get as your D value? Your D is correct, is 1.25. Okay, so double check your substitution. All right, so D. Yeah. It is that. That's what you should have in your calculator. But it's not going to come out to be 53. Try again, okay? Double check that you typed that in. All right, so the common difference, I'm going to use 5.5 minus 4.25. And it gives me 1.25. So my formula is the first term, which is 3, plus my difference times n minus 1. Now I want for the 51st, I'm going to put 51 in for n. Times 51 minus 1. And I don't even have to simplify. I can just put that in my calculator exactly the way it is. 3 plus 1.25 times 51 minus 1. And I get 65.5. Okay. Now, these are the two types of sequences we have. There's no other types of sequences. There's this one and geometric. So not on today's. Today's just going to have you practicing arithmetic. But in the future, I'm not going to tell you what kind of sequence it is. I'm going to ask you to tell me what kind of sequence it is and then find the equation. Okay. So you got to determine, is it being multiplied by the same number? Is it being added by the same number when you look at it? Okay. I don't know. What do you think, Miss? Should I just stop there, Miss Lago? And then we talk about being able to determine a little bit tomorrow.
Yeah, because I think that's going to be the hardest part is figuring out which one is which.
Right.
Because you have to be able to tell by kind of just looking at it, I guess, or.
You have to test more than 2 points. Because you got to make sure it's doing the same thing over and over. Okay, so I am done. So your assignment is on Schoology. It's called arithmetic sequence. Okay. You guys can get started on it. You very well should be able to finish it before the end of class. You got 40 minutes left of class. Actually, no, 35. I keep forgetting what time, 32 minutes. That's definitely going to finish that because it's the same length as the one yesterday. So if you didn't do yesterday's assignment, I would do both of them. You can easily get them done in class. Also, please note that the grade book ends for tomorrow. So if you have missing assignments and stuff, you need to get them in by tomorrow. All right, because we start fresh on Monday. Okay.
Is there anything else I can study for the next round?
Hold on one second. Evelyn, what? Could you unmute yourself and talk to me? Nobody else can hear. I'll be the only one hearing you.
Yeah, so I did the assignment, like I just so I did the assignment before class and it wasn't really making sense, so I like hopped on the Zoom call and like when we started doing it, I just realized that it wasn't geometric sequence, it was like adding instead of timesing, so I got like it makes sense why my answers were like so big and
Okay. So what I'll tell you to do is redo it and then resubmit.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. You gotta wait for class. You gotta wait for class.
I know, I thought it was like the same thing and I was like, wait, this doesn't look right.